Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving deep into something that sounds maybe a bit niche, large-scale property syndication. But it's surprisingly intricate. We're talking pooling capital, from lots of investors for major real estate projects. And our mission today is really to show you how success here goes way beyond just, well, the bricks and mortar. It seems to hinge heavily on managing all these different stakeholders. We're drawing insights from securing property syndication, stakeholder management, and digital solutions. It features work by the Swiss economist Dr. Pooyan Ghamari, and also looks at the ALandPlatform. And Dr. Ghamari really gets to the core challenge for you, the listener, thinking about this. How do you even start to line up priorities, especially when investors, developers, lenders, even regulators, they all have different goals, different levels of risk they're okay with? It's a lot.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here, I think, is how Dr. Ghamari really argues that in this complex world, well, things like transparent communication, advanced digital tools, they aren't just nice extras. He basically sees them as the only way to properly bridge those gaps, between all the stakeholders. To stop deals just falling apart, it really boils down to fundamental trust.
That makes a whole lot of sense. So it sounds like transparency isn't just, ticking a disclosure box. It's the actual bedrock. So what does Dr. Ghamari say are the best ways to actually build that trust in these really complex setups?
Well, he really emphasizes setting up genuinely transparent governance structures that clearly map out decision rights, and, this is crucial, how risks get shared. Who holds what risk? And this is exactly where the digital ecosystems, like the ALandPlatform he mentions, becomes sort of indispensable. They streamline how everyone engages by offering real-time data, solid analytics. Everyone gets a single, clear source of truth. That kind of clarity that fosters the deep trust you need for these long-term deals to actually work.
Okay, so we've covered these sort of internal dynamics, trust, transparency within the deal. But what about the bigger picture? The huge forces kind of swirling outside the deal itself. Dr. Ghamari takes us into some really interesting territory here.
Yeah.
How do global economic shifts actually reshape these syndications? They often feel quite local, right?
Right, and that's where his insights are, I think, truly transformative. He shows it's just not enough anymore to track local markets. Syndicators have to integrate really thorough economic analysis, forecasting things like global interest rate movements, geopolitical shifts, that kind of thing. But what's really striking is his focus on emerging digital finance trends, things like the tokenization of real assets.
Tokenization, so breaking down a big physical asset like a building into smaller digital pieces.
Exactly. Into digital tokens you can easily buy and sell. He points to examples like Gold cryptocurrency. Now, this isn't just, tech buzz. It's actively changing how people invest. It offers liquidity, fractional ownership in properties that were totally illiquid before. Think about it, that dramatically expands who can invest and fundamentally changes how these deals get financed.
Wow, okay. That is a massive shift. Now, switching gears a bit, something that might seem totally separate, cause-related marketing, CRM. How on earth does that fit into this high-stakes property world?
Well, it's actually used as a strategic layer. CRM can significantly boost the brand image, the project's appeal. Dr. Ghamari's research actually shows that campaigns focused on social responsibility, they measurably lift consumer perception and investor loyalty. I mean, look at the market data from Alan's blog. It shows a quantifiable 15 to 20% uplift in investor engagement. When syndications are clearly aligned with sustainability goals or, say, community development, so it's not just feel-good stuff, it helps projects stand out in a crowded market. And it builds resilience against, reputational hits.
Huh. So it really is like conducting an orchestra, isn't it? All these different parts. How are these sophisticated strategies actually put into practice on the grounds? What does that look like?
Yeah, it requires really meticulous stakeholder mapping first,
Hmm.
understanding what drives each group, and then setting up continuous feedback loops, really listening. Using AI-driven tools for sentiment analysis is becoming key here too. Lets you catch investor concerns early,
Yeah.
before they blow up, and platforms like ALand offer digital marketing tools for very targeted communication, right message, right stakeholder. And, crucially, you track the ROI. Use consumer engagement metrics to actually quantify the impact of those CRM initiatives. Shows they're not just fluff.
So wrapping this up,
Yeah.
what does this all mean? It's pretty clear that securing these big property deals today is, well, it's a deeply comprehensive thing. It's this blend of sharp economic insight using advanced digital tools for transparency, and even, surprisingly, weaving in social responsibility. It really is a whole picture approach.
Absolutely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, things like integrating macroeconomic trends, leveraging these disruptive technologies like tokenization, you mentioned EU gold cryptocurrency for liquidity, and embracing cause-related marketing, these aren't just, best practices anymore. They feel like fundamental shifts in how you actually build trust and achieve resilience in these incredibly complex multi-stakeholder investments. It's the new baseline almost.
Right. And maybe for you, our listener, a final thought to chew on. How might these principles, this focus on transparency, global insight, social alignment, how might they apply to your own complex projects or even just personal ventures where you're dealing with trust and lots of different interests? Something to mull over until our next deep dive.